Thank you for joining us on Data Cloud Now, where we bring you the latest in all things data in business and industry. I'm Ryan Green, and I'm joined by Torsten Grabs, Director of Product Management at Snowflake. Torsten, such a pleasure to sit down with you again. There's been a lot of focus today on Snowflake and machine learning. To start with, can you provide some macro trends you're seeing around ML and how Snowflake is adapting to meet the ever-changing needs of their customers?
Yeah, so great question. So I think one of the challenges that we're still seeing is for machine learning and data science to really get all the way deployed to the end users in an organization. So productionizing the results of your machine learning and data science team is still a big challenge for organizations. So one of the recent studies around data science from Anaconda was actually calling out security and governance as one of the main obstacles for productionizing results of ML and data science into an organization. And I think the announcements from today with Snowpark for Python going GA are actually a big step forward with that, because now it becomes so much easier to actually bring the ML compute into the same place where you do your data processing, and that is already happening in a well-governed, well-secured place. So bringing the compute there, the compute for ML and data science, will help alleviate a lot of these security and governance concerns that people have, and will make it just so much easier to productionize the results of all your ML and data science work.
You know, I keep hearing it around these halls. Every time I walk around, I hear Snowpark for Python, now GA. You know, from the developer community, how does this impact them?
Oh, I think it's fantastic, because we are now bringing the Python ecosystem, the Python community, to the data, and likewise we are bringing the data cloud and the data into the Python community. So there will be huge synergies between the two going forward that I'm totally thrilled, totally excited about, and we'll see what the next months and years are going to show there.
You know, I can sense the energy and excitement. You know, Snowflake also unveiled that it is investing in native observability and developer experience features. Can you share more on these innovations, you know, and what does this mean really to what you discussed earlier, to the end customer?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with simple things. Some of you might be familiar already with our Python worksheets, where you can now go into the Snowflake UI, and besides SQL, choose other languages, including Python, to just code away in the Snowflake UIs. And simple things like syntax highlighting, code auto-completion are some of the more recent capabilities that we have added there to make life easier for developers. In addition to that, like debugging and troubleshooting code that you have written in these new languages that we started to support is critical. So the ability to trace and log from the code that you have written and you're deploying into Snowpark, that is essential, right? And we are now starting private previews for these capabilities that allow you to trace and log and store that in a table. An event table is how we are calling it. And then you can run analytics over that help you with the troubleshooting and the debugging of the code that you have written.
You know, Torsten, I have to say, it feels like it's all happening here at the San Francisco stop of the Data Cloud World Tour. I know your day has been action-packed. You've been in breakout sessions throughout the day. What excites you most about the future here for Snowflake, and anything you'd like to share with the audience?
I think the one piece that really excites me is seeing all these kind of pieces or parts coming together. So we're talking about Snowpark for Python. We're obviously very excited to see that GA. Christian also spoke about the Snowpark optimized warehouse, which is going into public preview. That will be a key ingredient to make the data scientists and the machine learning practitioners successful on Snowpark. But then the other piece that really connects well with that is also Streamlit, because imagine the end user of a machine learning product, they're probably not going to operate and work in a Jupyter notebook writing actual Python code. They need a more streamlined end user experience, and Streamlit is just the perfect capability to do that, because there you can craft a UI that accepts input from the end user and then wraps around the machine learning model that the end user doesn't necessarily need to see, but now has a much more meaningful way to interact with. So that's kind of putting all of these pieces together, I love it. And it's like super exciting.
And that's, you know, really the ecosystem at work. Exactly. And we just sat down with Christian, we just sat down with Adrian and talking about these exact topics. Torsten, such a pleasure sitting down with you. Always a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you all for the audience joining. I'm Ryan Green with Data Cloud Now. Stay tuned. Conversations coming up next. And listen, if you missed any content, no problem. Click below. All the on-demand content from Snowflake Data Cloud World Tour is at your fingertips. I'm Ryan Green. See you soon.